Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hello everybody, assholeconsulting.com. You can go there. Also check out our Facebook page in case Google seems to think that our free speech is not as valuable as others. You can go to facebook.com/assholeconsulting. I'll have the links below. I think I also got the Twitter page set up as well. So, and then we also have, just in case, once again, Google thinks that our speech is not as free as others, we do have a backup over at Daily Motion. Look up Aaron Clarey at Daily Motion, and that will be the backup. Anyway, you go to assholeconsulting.com if you have a question and you have money. You're going to pay me, and this guy did, and he paid me, so I will put together a response. Good morning, Captain Asshole. I have a tendency to think with my dick, and it clouds my judgment. I really like your Clarey Test because it cuts through a lot of crap very quickly. Would you be able to come up with a similar algorithm I can use to make assessments of women? Thank you in advance, unnamed. And I said, oh, geez, now I have to go and actually sit and think this one through. So let's explain the Clarey Test real quick. It's a 4-question test I use to determine whether or not I trust a politician, let alone people in general. That's a good test for anybody, male or female, especially those that you're going to date. But that's more of a trust issue and more of a, what kind of person are they? What's their degree? Do they come from rich folks? Do they have any private sector experience? And are they currently working a real job? So those 4 questions ends up being the Clarey Test. But when it comes to women, oh, geez. So I had to sit down and think, and I came up with 10. So we're going to do it real simple. This is a 10-point question, scale 1 to 10. And I'll be honest with you guys, if you get a gal that has 5 of these, you're already in unicorn territory. All right, so this is, we haven't done this empirically. We haven't done a ton of people like this. But if you're looking at a girl, you don't want to think with your unit downstairs. You got to make a sound decision about, marriage material, quality material, long-term girlfriend, stuff like that. These are the 10 important questions. This is the Clarey Test on women, as it were. And kind of yes or no, and kind of falls into that ballpark. So, and they're in no particular order. I guess I could have ordered it in terms of importance. But like I said, you get 5 of these, and you're already talking unicorn territory. So, first one, is the father around and are her parents still married? That is a very, very important one. That is a huge determinant, not under her control, because unfortunately we don't control whether our parents stick together or not. But that is a very, empirically in my past, that has proven a very good determinant of a girl's stability, reliability. It's a predictor of many good things. Now, of course, I've met many girls who have had their fathers still married, and they're batshit insane. So this isn't a 100% correlation coefficient, but it's generally a good thing that they at least have a really good relationship with their dad. Ideally, their parents are still married. Second major thing, STEM degree. That tells you a lot of things about the girl. She's realistic, she's smart, she's got her shit together, and she typically probably isn't some touchy-feely liberal type. I just think the government should give me a job because I exist. I'm going to be a teacher. So, I like the nerds. I like the IT girls. I like the accountants. I like the statisticians. I like the computer programmers. But once again, you're talking less than 1 in 5 women, or 1 in 5 engineering majors are women. So it's already slim pickings. You could see, so what? Half the folks get divorced. Only 1 in 5. So 0.5 times 0.2. We're talking what? Did I do the math right? 10%? Is that it? 2 decimals. 1. Or is that 1%? 20% of 50%. Oh, 20 times 0.2 times 5. Be 1. I think it's 10. No, is that 1? No, it's 10%. It's 10%. We're already down to. So in those 2, you're down to 10% of the population. Supports herself. That's a huge one. And that's incredibly rare. I don't mean a girl says she's independent. Or I'm independent-minded. Every girl that claims how independent she is collecting a government check or a parental check or somebody else's money somewhere. They are rarely truly independent. When you find a girl that pays her own way, has her own apartment, pays her own bills, and mommy and daddy aren't like sending her a stipend or a subsidy, and they pay, we'll pay for your car insurance if you get a car, we'll pay for your car if you pay for the car insurance. No, I mean a 100% independent woman that doesn't rely on parental or government handouts. And so that's incredible, especially if you're younger, that's incredibly rare. I don't even think it exists in the millennial generation nowadays. Shows up on time and is punctual. That is an indication that the girl is capable of altruism and respects her fellow human, not just men. It has nothing to do with romance or dating. This is just somebody who shows up on time because they realize that they're not the only person in the world, and they respect other people's time. So they're ready on time. They're not late. I had a client one time. He was asking me about this gal that his friend was dating, and he was supposed to meet her, and she was 2 hours late to the thing. Like, they sat, and I couldn't believe they sat there. I can't believe they even stuck around. 2 hours late. She showed up thinking like they should just stay there, and they should, and they did. And I was like, where did everybody's dick go? Did the dick fairy come in and snip it off while all the men in the United States were sleeping? I was just shocked that they would even, and then didn't he even ask the question what he should do with that woman? It's like, you get rid of her. So punctuality, it's an addition that tells you professionalism and just you like someone who's a mature adult, but it also indicates that they know they're not the only person in the world and that they do respect other people's time and their lives. So that's another thing. Drive stick. That's when I just found, yeah, she's got a little, she's not like little princess daddy paid for everything. She probably could change oil. She's a little bit more of a guy and not a tomboy, but it's cool if the gal knows how to drive stick. Again, no perfect correlation coefficient, but a pretty good correlation. The gals who know how to drive stick are pretty cool. This one, just the politics. She's simply not a liberal or a feminist. She doesn't have to be a conservative or a libertarian. She could be quite apolitical as long as she isn't voting for Hillary because vag, or I'm a feminist because I just think it's the equal treatment. No. As long as you get a gal who's traditional, like, ideally I kind of hate feminists. They're like fucking off there. Or they're just not, that's what we're going for. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if she was an extreme conservative or libertarian. Absolutely. But right now, let's just keep the hurdle pretty low for the girls out there and say, as long as they're not a leftist or a feminist, that's another point there. Also, dresses up in lingerie. Doesn't find it to me. That's a huge thing. Like, these girls are like, yep, I like being feminine. I like dressing up cutesy. I like making my man happy. And that's usually you could find out with the lingerie. Like, hey, look at that. I mean, great little test you can do. Walk through the mall, find out where the Fredericks of Hollywood is. Say, hey, look at that. And you'll find out right there, oh, that's disgusting. You don't like that, do you? And then you're like, no, I don't like that. And then you never call the girl again. So that's a good test right there because I've found that. Like, it's scary. And that kind of, that's not, you'd think it correlate with politics. Not necessarily. I mean, you see some gals on the conservative or libertarian side like, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm just a sick, disgusting individual for wanting to see you doll yourself up in cute little frilly thing. Yeah, you're right. Let's go to the potato farm, and then we'll get a potato sack, and you can wear that, and then that's all it is. So, that's a huge indicator right there. I spelled it sake, not sack. I says, does everything in the sake without questions. I'm like, sake. So the sake, you gotta have a good sexual. Like, if there's any, I don't have sex, I don't do blowjobs, I have to, no, done. If there's any like, when they're not words, it's just, nope, done. That's out. You should find that out about third, fourth date. So there's a point there. Another one, I'm being very liberal with this. It has to be within the range of physical fitness. Well, what is physically fit? And it depends. I mean, you'll know whether or not you're physically attracted to a person. But if you want to put numbers on it, it has to be within the range of 1.6 to 2.3 pounds per inch. All right, because it's how tall is a girl, how short is a girl. It all depends. How big are the boobs? Very wide range there. I know there's some gentlemen that like a little heavy. You're below 1.6. You're down below 1.6, you're sick, you're anorexic, and if you're above 2.3, you're starting to push a little bit of a chunky side. So, but that's just my. I know, different strokes for different folks. So but in general, the gal's physically fit. That's a point right there. And then finally, no debt. That would be another. And you can see where these are they can almost be deal breakers. I know you're lucky if you get 5, and then a 6 could be a deal breaker. Good luck finding someone with all 10. I mean, good luck. I mean, it is the unicorn. It is the quintessential 10 when it comes to personality and the whole kielbasa. So that is the algorithm. I have saved it in case I have to reference it again. Like I said, you'll be lucky to find someone with a score of 5 or higher. But that's what you want to focus on. when you're thinking with the big head, not the little head downstairs. Okay? So, anyway, hope that helped out a couple of you kids. Best of luck to you. Toodles.